Welcome back to the Enough is Enough podcast. Today, I continue my series based on my book, Escaping Your Narcissist, What to Expect When You Divorce a Narc, small n. Today's topic, don't stay married to a monster, because that's what he is. Or it could be a female monster, easily. When you decide to divorce your narc because you've had enough of his abusive, destructive words and behavior, you have to get ready for a war. My book and these podcasts will get you ready and guide you through the divorce process. I'm not recommending divorce without telling you exactly how to do it and how to get through it. God wants you out of the abusive marriage. He wants the ongoing damage to you and your children to stop. He wants the generational sin to stop now. He wants you free. He wants you to have peace. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to have joy. None of that's possible when you stay with a narc. To buy Escaping Your Narcissist and all my books on abuse and narcissism, I got a whole package, 4 books on the entire process. And frankly, other books on marital crisis. If this isn't your crisis, you may have another type of crisis. Go to my website, davideclarkephd.com. That's Clarke with an E. You'll see the books, my phone advice service, and all my social media platforms. If you want to join our team and help abused spouses leave their narcs, subscribe to my podcast, leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. And also, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Many of you are doing this. We appreciate it, and it gives us more reach and more influence for God and His kingdom. And of course, share these podcasts and my YouTube videos with others who are living with narcs or in any form of marital crisis. Okay, today's podcast. Don't stay married to a monster. Many pastors will want you to stay married to a monster. Many Christian counselors will want you to stay married to a monster. Many friends will want you to stay married to a monster. No. Our ministry is not helping you stay with a monster. It's getting you out of that relationship. Listen to 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. Paul talking, of course, God talking through the Apostle Paul. But mark this. There will be terrible times in the last days. And by the way, my friends, if we're not in the last days, I don't know what these are. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. I like that one. They look great in church. They're liars, wolves in sheep's clothing. And how does Paul end up? Have nothing to do with them. Have you ever heard a better description of an abusive narc? I sure haven't. God knows exactly. Of course, He knows everything, and He knows what a narc is. These are the Apostle Paul's words written with the power and guidance, of course, of God Himself. You are married to a 2 Corinthians, Timothy 3, 1 through 5 narc. Absolutely you are. These verses describe who you are married to. You have decided, finally, to follow the clear instructions at the end of this description of a narc. Have nothing to do with them. Paul does not advise you to give narcs like these another chance. Nowhere is there, but he said he was sorry, or you have to stay married to him. No. He gives no indication that these types of narcs will ever change. Why? Because they won't. They are evil and dangerous, and you need to get away from them. That's the punchline. No caveats. Living in the narc's reality, which is what you've had to do until now. The narc has his own reality. He lives in his own world. It's Bob's world or Susie's world. He makes all the rules. He's the king. For all intents and purposes, he is his own God. What you think, what you feel, and what you need makes no difference. It's meaningless to him. All that counts is what he thinks, what he feels, and what he needs. And he's got a lot of needs. And it's your job to meet them. Of course, you'll never be good enough. But you can die trying, and he'll be okay with that too. Living in his reality, making constant adjustments to survive in his reality has cost you dearly, hasn't it? It's been a horrific mix of rejection and never-ending emotional torture. You are wounded. You are traumatized. You have PTSD without question, post-traumatic stress disorder. Your immune system is trashed because of the unrelenting stress. Almost every lady I talk to, and some men, but most of them are ladies, I'm taking my history and phone advice sessions. I ask about their physical condition, and they're in trouble. Autoimmune disorders, heart issues, kidney issues, extreme fatigue, fibromyalgia. I mean, one after the other. And I tell every one of them, when you leave the narc, you're going to get better physically. You have depression and anxiety as well. You have experienced humiliation, helplessness, and hopelessness for years. The toll is horrific. You've lost yourself. You can't remember who you used to be. That's one of the worst consequences. Your body, mind, and soul are dying. One of my TikTok subscribers told me, slowly dying is worse than starting over. That's exactly right. You need to start over. Look, the marriage is over. Guess who killed it? Not you, the narc. Why does the Bible give the 3 reasons for divorce? Because any of these behaviors, abandonment by a non-Christian spouse, adultery, and chronic abuse inflicts a catastrophic, fatal wound to a marriage. Any one of these sinful behaviors ends a marriage. It's over. It's completely destroyed. End of story. The narc and other clueless persons will urge you to not end the marriage. They are mistaken. The narc has already ended the marriage with his outrageous, damaging behavior. You had nothing to do with it. As much as God values marriage, and he clearly does, he despises these 3 sinful actions and those narcs that perpetrate these actions. And he makes it clear there are reasons for divorce. Is it possible to fully heal and recover from these awful wounds and build a brand new, healthy, intimate marriage? Absolutely it is. Over the years, I've helped many married couples, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, do just that. But listen to me, but not when one of the spouses is an abusive narc who has been given a million chances to change and has chosen not to every single time. Marriage counseling with an abusive narc in the room is a waste of time. The point is, you don't have to work on the marriage. God does not say you have to. God says if you have one or more of these reasons, you can formally end a marriage that your spouse has already killed. You want to please others or God? Now look, you can stay married to the narc. I have plenty of my phone advice clients that aren't ready to leave yet and decide to listen to their pastor or some Christian counselor who doesn't have a clue, and they'll decide to stay. God love them. You can do that. Every single one of those clients, just about every single one that I've talked to, will get in touch with me later, and they have regretted staying. More damage is done. Narcs don't change and the destruction continues. Oh, you know, you've been through this already. The narc will say he's sorry. He's not sorry. He'll change for a few weeks or months. He doesn't want to lose money. He doesn't want to look bad. He wants to stay married to you and keep living and doing whatever he wants, but he'll revert back. He hasn't done the hard work, which will take him a year minimum to really see any appreciable change. He's not going to do that. He'll revert back every time. So you can stay married and please the peanut gallery of pastors, friends, and family who want you to stay. More on these types in a later chapter and podcast. But who cares what these misguided fools think? They don't live with the narc. They have no idea the suffering you and your children have experienced. Is it worth your life to please them? The one person you want to please is God. And I'm telling you right now, God is not pleased when you stay with the narc. In fact, he's pleased when you leave the narc. And he'll help you do that. How could he be pleased? You tell me, how could he be pleased when you and your kids continue to be broken piece by piece by piece, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year? He's not pleased. Okay, you'd say to me, well, Dave, and I have many people ask me, well, what if my narc actually changes? You know, pie in the sky, he's not going to anyway. What if the narc actually changes? Listen to me, even if the narc truly repents and changes, and frankly, that's extremely unlikely, you can decide biblically you don't want to stay married to him. Yes, you can. Your heart, mind, body, and soul have taken enough of a beating. This is a message you're not going to hear almost anywhere else in the Christian community because they don't have the guts to say it. I'm saying it because I'm convinced it's biblical. That's why these biblical reasons are in the Bible. Your decision to divorce, no matter what your narc does from this point on, because of the damage you've already suffered, is okay. It's okay with God. In fact, that's what he wants you to do. I'm convinced. He knows the nightmare of abuse you've suffered more than anyone else. He wants you to divorce your monster, and no one else really gets it. Even kids don't get it. Being a child of a narc is far different level, than being married to one. No one else is going to get it. Close friends can sort of get it. You get it, and God gets it. Nothing in Scripture tells you, nothing, that you have to stay married to a person when you have a biblical reason to divorce him or her, because it could be a female narc. You don't have to endure the incredible stress and pressure of living with the narc and waiting every day for the rest of your life for him to go back to his abusive behavior. You don't have to do that. You will heal from the wounds the narc inflicted on you. Yes, you will, and you will forgive him. The Bible's clear. You are to forgive. That'll take time. But you don't have to trust him for one more stinking second. You don't. You don't have to be open and vulnerable to him ever again. Finally, and it's about time it's not about the narc. It's always been about the narc. Your whole relationship has been about the narc. That's what codependency is. You give up your life. You sacrifice your hopes, your dreams, your voice, who you are, your health, your emotional health, your relationship with your children for the narc. Enough of that. It's about you now. Your healing, your peace, your happiness, your freedom, your new life. And it's about your precious children and grandchildren to come if you don't have them yet. Their healing, their peace, their happiness, their freedom, and their new lives. One of my phone advice clients wrote me these words, and I love these words. I embrace the feeling of being free. She left her narc and divorced him. Everything looks so much brighter. I could enjoy the sky, trees, flowers, birds, the simple things. Everything came alive again, including me. Beautifully said, I told her. The freedom she's talking about is worth the war you have to go through to achieve it. Now, more on this war in podcasts to come.